Hey, Bill, what day is it?
Hey gang, welcome back to Hey Bill, what day is it? This episode has a little bit of something for everybody. So buckle in, let's celebrate National Beverage Day. National Beverage Day on May 6th encourages us to sit back, relax, and enjoy our favorite beverages. Beverages come in many forms, so I think the first thing we need to do is to establish a few definitions. The first beverage that pops into most people's minds is probably water. We're constantly reminded to keep ourselves hydrated, and what will happen if we don't? It looks like this poor little guy could sure use a drink. Water is all around us and is necessary for our very survival. We can go weeks without food, but only a few days without water. Bottled water is one of the top selling drinks in the United States. Most people like water better when it is very cold. We even freeze it into ice to make our drinks cold. But now for the $64,000 question. Are you sure you know the answer? According to the dictionary.com, a beverage is any potable liquid, especially one other than water. So technically, water isn't even a beverage. So let's look at the various types of beverages. There are two major categories of beverage, including non-alcoholic and alcoholic. Let's first consider the non-alcoholic variety. My research on the internet revealed a list of 74 different non-alcoholic beverages. Okay, maybe Albert Einstein didn't endorse my research, but I'm sure he would have if he hadn't been dead. Non-alcoholic drinks come from a variety of cultures and are made up of available ingredients such as fruit juices and spices. The most popular non-alcoholic beverages in America are coffee and tea. They're popular due to the caffeine found in them. This little guy needs a little less caffeine. Each is served either hot or cold and sweetened or unsweetened. Like most beverages, they're served hot to warm us up in cold weather and to cool us down in hot weather. Another ingredient that seems to help make a variety of flavored drinks more refreshing is carbonation. The addition of these sparkling little bubbles can perk up the taste buds and increase the palatability of the beverage. All you have to do is take a stroll down the soft drink aisle of your favorite grocery store to identify that. Dairy products such as milk are classic favorites in the non-alcoholic category. Cultures around the world serve milk for refreshment. I once stumbled upon the fact that humans are the only species that drinks milk after we've been weaned. The comedian Michael Jr. determined why that is the case. He says it's because we're the only species with cookies. Many kids have launched into the business world by taking advantage of our love of citrus drinks and setting up a lemonade stand in front of their house. There's nothing like an ice-cold glass of lemonade to really quench the thirst. It's always best to use water or another non-alcoholic drink to slake our thirst and keep us hydrated. The refreshing sweetness of fresh fruit can do a lot to rehydrate our bodies after strenuous exercises. Some people turn to beer or other adult beverages in very hot weather, but that's not a very good idea because the alcohol can contribute to dehydration. Once when we were on a cruise to the Caribbean, we went on an all-day snorkeling adventure. After spending the whole day in the sun snorkeling, the cruise line provided the guests with a wonderful fruit punch in a big 5-gallon igloo cooler on the back of the truck that returned us to the ship. It was really refreshing. I was refreshing myself with huge solo cups of the punch when I realized a little too late that it was rum punch. Man, that had me barking at the seagulls before we got back. If you really want to get your refreshment right, check to make sure of the ingredients they've put into your punch. The difference between various tastes in soft drink would really surprise you if you go to the Coca-Cola Museum in Atlanta, Georgia. you can sample hundreds of different flavored drinks that they sell around the world. I found that some of the flavors were less than satisfying to my American palate. Some were downright disgusting. However, they're very popular in the countries where they are sold. The second major category of beverages is the alcoholic variety, sometimes called adult beverages, due to their being illegal to serve minors. They're popular for their depressant effect on the human body. The same effect seems to make people who drink them act less like an adult while they're under their influence. There's evidence that alcoholic beverages date back a very long time. When there was no scientific knowledge, people used the fermentation process to make alcoholic beverages, but not spirits. The key difference between alcohols and spirits is that we make alcohol from fermentation, whereas the spirit comes from distillation of the alcohol. Distilled spirits have a much higher alcohol content than simply fermented drinks. Back during Prohibition years, and even up to today, there were and are folks in the backwoods of the South who make what is known as moonshine. Moonshine is a very powerful, clear liquid that has a high alcohol content. While actually a very high quality product, manufacturing this drink is highly illegal because no taxes are paid during its distribution. It really wasn't about the product, it was that they didn't pay taxes on the sales. NASCAR racing has its roots in the illegal moonshine trade because runners developed quite a following due to their fast driving while eluding law enforcement. Competition among them eventually led to the formation of tracks, teams, and cars to prove who had the fastest moonshine running cars. Yes, that's me in number 38. But I'm not hauling shine. I'm just driving really fast. Almost any kind of grain or fruit that contains sugar can be fermented into alcoholic beverage, such as wine. In fact, most of these juices will eventually ferment on their own, becoming wine if they're not prevented from doing so by pasteurization or refrigeration. Winemaking has become quite a science, and hundreds of different wines have been perfected using different grapes or berries and different fermentation processes. Beverage alcohol had developed a very bad reputation because of consumers who abused them by drinking them to excess and then taking part in activities such as operating a motor vehicle. The impaired judgment brought on by the drinking caused many crashes and deaths. Many people are genetically predisposed to becoming addicted to alcohol, becoming alcoholics. This malady is very hard to overcome and is famous for destroying families and relationships. It's usually best to avoid alcohol since you never know if you will have that particular tendency. Non-alcoholic beverages will help you avoid this disease and be just as refreshing in the long run. Here's another question for you. When is a cocktail not a cocktail? The answer is when it is a mocktail. Because of the demand for more visually and aesthetically appealing drinks than normal soft drinks, the concept known as mocktails was born. Mocktails, an abbreviation for mock cocktails, are festive non-alcoholic party drinks. Some people don't or won't or can't drink alcohol due to a variety of reasons. So these colorful and refreshing drinks have been developed so that teetotalers can join in the festivities. The euphoria and loss of inhibitions and impairment of judgment still draw many people into alcohol consumption. So the best recommendation is to drink responsibly. Avoid excess and the destructive activities that accompany it. Some have felt that wine, in particular, has medicinal qualities, and medical science has borne that out. In the Bible, in Paul's first letter to Timothy, he states, "Stop drinking only water and use a little wine because of your stomach and your frequent illnesses." Paul knew that Timothy had an apparent digestive disorder and recommended one of the prevailing treatments of the day. This was for a very specific disorder, however. If you want to find a drink that truly satisfies, you can look into the Bible in the 4th chapter of the Gospel of John. Jesus was traveling and came to a well. Since he didn't have a bucket to get water from the well, he asked a woman standing there to give him a drink. She was shocked that he would ask her for water. In John 4, verses 9 through 14, it says, "The Samaritan woman said to him, 'You're a Jew, and I'm a Samaritan woman. How can you ask me for a drink?' For Jews do not associate with Samaritans." Jesus answered her, "If you knew the gift of God and who it is that asks you for a drink, you would have asked him, and he would have given you living water." When the woman asked him about the living water, Jesus answered, "Everyone who drinks this water will be thirsty again. But whoever drinks the water I give them will never thirst. Indeed, the water I give them will become in them a spring of water welling up to eternal life." I'm Bill Wasor, and this is Hey Bill, What Day Is It? Now go out and find a beverage to your liking and cool yourself off or warm yourself up while you have a triumphant day.